The whole theory behind the 60-minute format was people may not be that interested in what goes on in Nicaragua if there's a war in Nicaragua, but if they see George Negus being there, then they'd say, well, what's George doing in Nicaragua?
Feel sometimes with your stories that you can't see the story for the reporter getting in the way. There's George getting out of Jaguars and Ray leaping out of helicopters and Ian wrestling with crocodiles. I mean, who cares?
Let me tell you, Michael, that's a very important thing when you're talking about trying to make people aware, a big Australian audience aware of lots of things that are happening in the world. Because maybe they're not so interested in what's happening in the Korean economy, but they might be interested in what Ian Leslie has to say about it, or what's going to happen in Nicaragua, except that George is there.
You realise that the whole idea of human rights in El Salvador today is a joke.
A lot of people don't care about flood control, but everybody knows the story of Noah. So you tell the story and get to the grips of it.
Ironically, most of these boys would probably have preferred to have been killed in battle rather than captured. Ultimately, it's a case of choose your atrocity in this holy war where just about anything goes.
I think a lot of people that didn't have anything to talk about on Monday mornings now do.
It's a very simple thing. You can put on a public affairs program that nobody will watch, or you put on a public affairs program that a lot of people will watch. The question is whether we're doing something wrong that distorts the news, that distorts the information. And again, I don't think so. All we're doing is putting up front the fact that we do have personalities who have their own opinions and are bringing a point of view.
Any Jamaican found with a firearm in his possession wound up at this place, what became known as the notorious gun court. And it's a pretty awesome-looking deterrent. And even today, some 5 years later, there are still about 120 men inside that place.
60 Minutes is one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. It was not only great to launch a program like that, but to see the impact that it had on almost every element of Australian life. And I think most of the audience recognize that now. I mean, the competition in television is no longer just between channels in Australia. It's all over the world. So the whole game has changed. But that was a wonderful time to be here.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching. To keep up with the latest from 60 Minutes Australia, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You can also download the 9Now app for full episodes and other exclusive 60 Minutes content.